Next question today. Hey, David, I noticed that you don't use some of the Soviet terminology that is becoming in vogue with part of the left, like calling people comrades and talking about things being read in a positive way. Why don't you use that terminology? Listen, I've sort of talked about this before. I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. I don't think that Leninism or Stalinist Marxism are the directions that we should be going as a society. My model is one of social democracy, taking many of the elements that have worked well in Scandinavian, Northern European countries and tweaking them and doing things that account for the reality that the United States is more diverse than a lot of those countries, and the United States has a lot of different other cultural elements going on. So that's basically my model. I don't look back at the Soviet Union with rose-colored glasses or in this nostalgic way, you know, in the same way that the right talks about the golden age of the 1950s or whatever. And I just think that doesn't make any sense. I also don't look back at the Soviet era and say that's what we should be striving for. So I don't know who you're referring to. The only thing I can think of is I know that Hassan Piker from the Young Turks from TYT Network has or had a show called Agitprop. And okay, I mean, you know, call the show what you want. I don't know that that's necessarily what I would call a show. I don't need to make reference to Soviet terminology. I don't know of anybody who calls others comrades, but I believe you that it exists. It's just not interesting to me. You know, I don't think my movement and the policy and ideas that I support of economic justice and welfare programs that work and lifting people up and reducing inequality and fixing a lot of the things that aren't working. I don't think I need Soviet terminology to make that a reality. I don't think that it helps. And also, the other thing is, in general, I'm not that big a fan, aside from Soviet terminology. When I am a progressive. I want to move forward. So, in general, I don't see the world as here's the phase we want to go back to. We need to be moving forward. We might incorporate economic or cultural or societal elements from some time in the past, which might have overlap with some other movement or country or era or phase, and that's fine. But for me as a progressive, I'm seeing us going to something new and unprecedented. So it's against my nature to say, let's call each other comrades, or let's do our agitprop, or use Soviet terminology. Because I'm not looking to go back to something. I might incorporate things that worked from the past, but I'm looking to go forward and to something new. So I'm not particularly interested in adopting old terminology when what I want to do is actually see progress, as the word progressive contains within it etymologically, if that is a word. So that's my view.